KTRF, good morning. Fair skies, 40 degrees. It is Thursday, the 16th. Time now for a sports update. Scores and schedules. Wayne Allen, good morning.
Good morning,
I
Bob.
know how big a Cher fan you are.
Heck yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with Cher, can you?
Generations
No,
haven't gone wrong with
right?
Cher.
If I can turn back time, baby. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Sun is shining. Beautiful start to the day. Get out and enjoy it. We've got local baseball on the radio and softball on the radio for you today. We'll tell you all about that coming up. Let's start with the Northern Freeze at Roseau in high school baseball yesterday. It was all Roseau in this one, winning 11-1 in high school baseball action last night. That was about the only thing locally around the area. I'll tell you about the Minnesota Twins coming up here in just a little bit. So schedule activities today for you on Thief River Falls Radio on 94.1 The Falls. Our very own Lee Jenricks has a couple double headers for you today. East Polk will take on Red Lake Falls in high school softball, and then they'll also turn around and play Badger Greenbush Middle River in softball action today. Get underway at 3:30 with the pregame on 94.1 The Falls. Second game somewhere around 6 o'clock tonight. Again, both games on 94.1 The Falls with Lee Jenricks at Red Lake Falls. Taking on again East Polk in first game, Badger Greenbush Middle River game number 2. Ada Borup West takes on Crookston this afternoon in high school softball. High school baseball, Travis has on North Country 99.3. He'll have Northern Freeze taking on Red Lake County today. And Foston will be at Crookston in high school boys baseball. High school track today, boys and girls hosting a meet today at the MEC according to the schedule. So plenty of activities going on around the area. Minnesota Twins, they are off today, and we'll dive into that as they open up a 3-game home weekend series with the Cincinnati Reds starting tomorrow at 7:10 with the first pitch, 1:10 Saturday and Sunday. Of course, all 3 games right here on KTRF. Let's go to the Minnesota Twins. Could they do a full series sweep of the Boston Red Sox last night? Or you should say yesterday afternoon. Let's find out with the Twins rep and Chris Atterbury. Yeah, tough outing for the Minnesota Twins. Again, couple errors in that game, along with that 5-run third inning, did not help things. Twin skipper Derek Shelton says they have to move on from the loss. Simeons with Richardson, took the loss on the mound after throwing those 5 innings and allowing 7 runs yesterday. The Twins dropped to 11-8 on the season, and they are still sitting in first place in the American League Central by 1 game over Cleveland. Boston improves to 7-11 on the year. Minnesota, they are off today again. They'll open up that 3-game home series tomorrow, starting against the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch, 7:10, 6:30 pregame tomorrow night right here on KTRF, your home for Minnesota Twins baseball. Other finals from across the ballparks: Arizona Diamondbacks with the 8-5 win over the Baltimore Orioles. Andrew De La Costa with 5 RBIs, including the 10th inning home run. It was a 5-3 win for the St. Louis Cardinals over the Cleveland Guardians. Jordan Walker extended his hitting streak to 11 games in that victory. It was a 2-1 win for the Detroit Tigers over the Kansas City Royals. Pittsburgh Pirates shutting out the Washington Nationals 2-0. Cincinnati Reds with an 8-3 win over the San Francisco Giants. Christian Stewart had a multi-home run game with 6 RBIs for the Reds in that contest. Chicago Cubs 11-2 victory over the Philadelphia Phillies. Nico Horner had two-run home run and 3 RBI day. Atlanta Braves picking up a 6-3 win over the Miami Marlins. Austin Riley had his first home run of the season in that contest. San Diego Padres trailed the Seattle Mariners 6-1 entering the bottom of the 9th inning yesterday. They would explode for 5 runs, capped off by Jackson Merrill's walk-off hit to win 7-6 in a comeback fashion. Again, Padres over the Seattle Mariners. That's pretty impressive. New York Yankees secured a 5-4 victory over the LA Angels on a walk-off play where Austin Wells barely beat the throw home, but he did pick it up again, a 5-4 win over the LA Angels. The Dodgers completed a sweep of the New York Mets 8-2, improving to 14-4 on the season. Shohei Ohtani struck out the side in his final inning of work in 6 innings yesterday, but very impressive. He did not bat in that game, but dominant performance on the mound from Shohei. Tampa Bay Rays with the 8-3 win over the Chicago White Sox. It was the Milwaukee Brewers down to the Toronto Blue Jays 2-1. Aaron Ashby earned his 4th win of the season. Houston Astros with the 3-1 win over the Colorado Rockies, and the Athletics with the 6-5 win over the Texas Rangers. And as Chris mentioned in his report, it was Jackie Robinson Day. Check this out, 79th anniversary yesterday of the debut of Jackie Robinson. It's an annual event in Major League Baseball, usually celebrated around April 15th. Commemorates the day in 1947 when Jackie Robinson made his debut for the Brooklyn Dodgers, officially breaking the sports color barrier and becoming the first African-American player in the modern era. Jackie played, of course, 10 seasons in the major leagues with the Brooklyn Dodgers from 47 to 1956. Wore the number 42, and every player, manager, and coach and umpire across the league will typically wear the number 42 on their jerseys. Robinson's 42 number was universally retired across Major League Baseball in 1997, the first time any professional sport honored an athlete that way. And just some key achievements, if you kind of forgot about some of his historic moments. He was the NL MVP in 1949. He won after leading the National League with .342 batting average and 37 stolen bases. He was the MLB Rookie of the Year in 1947. He was the inaugural winner of the award, now named in his honor. World Series champ in 1955, helped the Dodgers defeat the New York Yankees for their first title. 6-time All-Star. And, of course, a Hall of Fame inductee in 1962 in his first year of eligibility. Jackie Robinson, one of the greats to swing a bat for professional baseball. Minnesota Lynx officially welcomed their new first-round draft pick, Olivia Miles, at a news conference yesterday. The former TCU Horned Frog star was the 2nd overall pick in Monday's WNBA draft, and she said she was thrilled to hear her name called. Now, head coach Cheryl Reeves says Miles is excited to be coming to the team that is a playoff championship caliber style team. Miles also says she has a vision of what her job is at Minnesota. She is a New Jersey native, and she spent the first several years of her collegiate career at Notre Dame. The Lynx, of course, open training camp next week, and they'll have their first preseason game of the year on April 25th at Washington. Regular season for the Minnesota Lynx starts May 10th against Atlanta. Other big dates in the WNBA, again, preseason does start on the 25th. Regular season tips off for most teams on May 8th. Commissioner's Cup coming in June 1st through the 17th. All-Star Weekend will be in Chicago this year, July 24th to the 25th, and regular season ends on September 24th for the WNBA. Well, after a big weekend win for Rory McIlroy, successfully defending his title at the 2026 Masters Tournament last week, becoming the first back-to-back winner since Tiger Woods, and completing his career Grand Slam, the PGA Tour heads to the Harbor Town Golf Links in South Carolina this weekend for the RBC Heritage. The field includes 16 of the top 20 players in the world, including defending champ Justin Thomas and number one golfer Scotty Scheffler. Franklin Caplan III and Tom Hoge will all be part of the RBC Heritage this weekend. Minnesota Frost fell 3-2 last night to the Boston Fleet. Minnesota now 13, 3, 4, and 7 on the year with 49 points, despite the late third period goal by Britta Kurla-Selman. With 1:36 remaining, the Frost were unable to tie the game, dropping them to 8 points behind second place Boston in the PWHL standings. So as of today, here are the top three. Montreal leading the league at 58 points at 15, 7, 2, and 3. Boston with 57 points, right behind Montreal, 15, 5, 2, and 5. Then you got Minnesota in third with 49 points. The Frost return home to Grand Casino Arena in St. Paul for their next matchup, which is this Sunday afternoon against Toronto. Minnesota Wild will have their first postseason practice when they hit the ice later today in St. Paul at TRIA Rink. The Wild finished the regular season on Tuesday night with a 3-2 win over the Anaheim Ducks. Head coach John Hynes talks about how to hold down the high-flying Dallas Stars. Now, after today's practice, the Wild will fly out to Dallas and practice at American Airlines Center on Friday afternoon. Game 1 should be on the ice on Saturday afternoon, with Game 2 Monday. Dates and times as of yet are not official, and we'll tell you, I think, why, because the East still has some games that might depend on how things seed out. So there are about 6 games remaining. They include St. Louis at Utah today, Anaheim at Nashville, San Jose Sharks at Winnipeg, LA Kings at Calgary Flames, Vancouver Canucks visit the Edmonton Oilers, and the Seattle Kraken are at Colorado Avalanche. That is the full slate of the remaining 6 games of the NHL regular season. So here's what we do know. The Eastern Conference bracket is fully set. So it looks like this. Carolina will take on the Ottawa Senators, Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Philadelphia Flyers, Buffalo Sabres will take on the Boston Bruins, and the Tampa Bay Lightning will take on the Montreal Canadiens on the east side of things. While on the west side of things, still some things to kind of fall into place yet, but what the experts seem to think is that the West should see Colorado taking on the LA Kings. Of course, we do know Dallas will take on Minnesota, Vegas Golden Knights will take on Utah, and it's believed that Edmonton Oilers should face the Anaheim Ducks, but again, we'll find out officially once the full regular season is completed tonight with those handful of games coming up. Play-in tournament continued yesterday for the NBA as the Orlando Magic was at the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia 76ers getting a big win, 109-97, as they advanced to face the Celtics. In that game, Trey Maxey scored 31 points and added 6 assists to lead Philadelphia past Orlando. And the Golden State Warriors getting a big win over the LA Clippers, 126-121. Stephon Curry exploded for 35 points, including 16 in a critical third quarter stretch to spark a 13-point comeback victory. Again, Golden State Warriors advanced to Friday's eliminator. So here's what comes up on Friday. It's the final 2 playoff spots will be decided tomorrow, where the East final eliminator will have Charlotte Hornets taking on the Orlando Magic at 6:30. West final eliminator, Golden State Warriors will take on the Phoenix Suns. It's win or go home tomorrow night. The winners on Friday will advance to face the number 1 seeds, either Detroit Pistons in the East and Oklahoma City Thunder in the West, as the playoffs will get underway officially this weekend. Speaking of that, Minnesota Timberwolves are prepping for the Denver Nuggets as the NBA postseason looms. The two clubs will meet in a best-of-7 opening round series, beginning with Game 1 on Saturday in Denver. And star guard Anthony Edwards says they know Denver very well and know what it will take to beat them. Edwards says him and some of the other guys have spent the time getting physically healthy as well. Saturday's game tips off at 2:30. We'll join Progress in that game after the Twins Saturday afternoon right here for Timberwolves basketball against those Nuggets on Saturday on KTRF. And Bob, that wraps up again. A couple games for you, 3 games on tap for you today. 2 softball, Lee Generics doubleheader starting around 3:30 on 94 in the Falls. And Travis has got a baseball game today on North Country 99.3, Red Lake County and Northern Freeze.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can't blame the weather today.
Right? Yeah. Right. Right.
Tomorrow's games
should be good.
Well, I don't know.
Hopefully.
It's gonna be cold tomorrow.
Yeah.
In Blustery.
I have faith that we will get games in tomorrow.
I don't know if if you get a northwest wind at 20 and it's only 29 degrees out, all of a sudden the wind chills.
Yeah.
Down single digits almost.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Even if the field is dry.
Right.
They may not. So, we do what we can. We'll see how it plays out. All right, Wayne, thank you much.
Thanks, guys.
Sports news with Wayne Allen. Wayne's going to be back next hour. We'll have another